Jai Hind everyone. I am Dr. Sneha Mishra, Assistant Professor, AKGC Ghaziabad, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So today we will be starting the next topic of compiler design, that is phases of compiler. In our previous lectures, we have discussed about the various analysis and synthesis part of the compiler, how the compilation is done, what is the difference between the compiler, interpreter, what are the language processors. So today we will be getting the more enhanced version of the compilation, that how these phases are working with us for compiler, for the process of compilation. So as we are aware of that, there are these phases, and in these phases these are the two parts. One is the analysis part and another one is the synthesis part, right? So in the analysis part, we are doing lexical analysis, syntax analysis and semantic analysis. One by one we will take all these phases. And the intermediate code generation, code optimization and code generation are the synthesis part. All these phases are being connected with the symbol table and to the error handler. So the job of the symbol table is to collect each and every information about each and every phase, like what is the data type being used, what is the what type of errors are to be generated. So these are to be handled by the error handler. So basically these are the phases. So one by one let's discuss about these phases. So first we will be covering the lexical analysis phase. So it is the first phase of the compiler and it accepts the source program as the input and produces token as the output. So here the main thing is that it produces token as the output. So during this phase, the lexical analyzer performs the following activities. First of all, it removes the white spaces. All the white spaces, tabs, spaces, new line characters, all these are removed by the first phase, that is the lexical analyzer phase. Then what happens is it removes the comments from the program, like we write the comments now, sum of 2 and 3, whatever, right? So these are the comments we write, right? So these comments are being removed. All the spaces are being removed. A, comma, then we put space, then we put B. So these spaces are being removed. So it removes the white spaces that contains the tabs, spaces and new line characters. It removes the comment from the program. Then it interacts with the symbol table to insert the variable and constants into the symbol table. So as you can find that this phase is also connected with the symbol table. So what is it doing with the symbol table? It is interacting with the symbol table to insert variables and constants. It is inserting variables and constants into the symbol table and returns a token consisting of an integer code and pointer to the variable and constant in the symbol table, right? So what is it doing? It is interacting with the symbol table. How it is interacting with the symbol table? By inserting the variables and the constants. So there is a symbol table, and in this symbol table the variables and the constants are being inserted and returns a token consisting of an integer code like ID1, ID2, ID3. So such are the tokens being received, right? These are the tokens being received and pointer to the variable and constant in the symbol table. So it detects invalid identifiers and interacts, it detects the invalid identifiers and interacts with the error handler to display the error message. So as it is interacting with the symbol table, it is also interacting with the error handler, because if the symbol, whatever it is inserting, the variables or the constants, it is inserting in the symbol table, and in return it is getting the tokens. So if those tokens are generating any invalid identifiers, or so that those invalid identifiers are handled with the error handler to display the error message. Then we receive the error message that line 1, this is missing, or right. So such is how our compiler first phase, that is lexical analyzer, is working on, right. So this is the lexical analyzer. So if we move forward, after lexical analyzer, there is a syntax analyzer, right. So the second phase of compiler is the syntax analyzer. How the syntax analyzer is working? Let's move on to the next slide, that is syntax analyzer. So it is the second phase, you know it very well. It is the second phase of the compiler. It accepts the tokens. What are these tokens? These are being generated from the lexical analyzer phase. Right. So it accepts the tokens from the lexical analyzer and imposes a grammatical structure on them and checks whether the program is syntactically correct or not. So it checks whether the program is syntactically correct or not. So what are the various activities being covered? So these are the following are the various activities. Number 1, it detects the syntax errors. What are the syntax errors? Those are the undefined symbols, semicolons expected, etc. Those are the syntax errors. Then again, since every phase interacts with the symbol table as well as the error handler. So first it interacts with the symbol table. Whatever the symbol table suggests, then it is being told to the error handler. If it is erroneous data, then the error has been delivered to us as a error message, right. So similarly here also, secondly, it interacts with the symbol table and the error handler to display the appropriate error message, right. So after interacting with the symbol table, whatever it just generated, it is been interacted with the error handler, and after getting the error, if there is, it is not necessarily that there is an error. If there is any error, then the error handler displays the error message. Then it generates the parse tree, which we call as syntax tree, which is compressed from the parse tree, which is compressed form of the parse tree. So syntax tree is the compressed form of the parse tree, right. So parse tree, I think you are aware of. If you are not, then we will be having a detailed lecture about this. So don't worry about it. So syntax analysis. So in syntax analysis, so you have to keep in mind that in syntax analysis, it detects the syntax errors. And what are the syntax errors? Those are the undefined symbols and any semicolon or any curly braces which are missing. So these all are being considered as the syntax errors. So in lexical analysis, the errors which were generated were related to the unidentified identifiers or wrong identifiers. And in syntax analysis, whatever those tokens are being generated, those tokens plus the syntax, after those tokens, we have the syntax errors, and the output which we receive. The major thing is that the output which we receive in this phase is in the form of parse tree, or we can say it's syntax tree, right. So it generates the parse tree. Now let's come to the next phase. What is the next phase? It is the semantic analysis. So I'll not come back to the slide because again it is connected to the symbol table. It is interacting with the symbol table and also interacting with the error handler. So let's come to the semantic analysis phase. So in semantic analysis, yes, we were aware that it is the third phase of the compiler. But now what it does type checking, type conversion is done by this phase, and other operations that are performed by this phase are, it collects type information. What are those type information? Like integer type variable it is, or it is float type, or it is character type. So it is collecting the type information such as int, float, character, etc., double float and all of all variables and constants of the subsequent code generation phase, right? So it is collecting the type information. You have to make sure that it is collecting the type information. It checks the type of the each operand in an arithmetic expression. So type checking also it is doing. Secondly, it is doing type checking. So it checks the type of each operand in an arithmetic expression and reports error if any. For example, the subscript variable, this I is a subscript variable in an array. A should not be float or double, right? So for then it is also doing, let's take the third point, it is also doing type conversion. Type conversion, right? So what is it being done in type conversion? At the appropriate places done in this phase. For example, conversion from 10 to 10.0, right? 10.0 we can say. So type conversion is done. Then it detects error whenever there is mismatch in the type of the arguments and parameters in the function call and function header. So you have to remember these things, that in semantic analysis, so in semantic analysis, in this phase we are doing type checking, we are doing type conversion, and we are also doing collecting the type information, and we are checking the mismatch in the type of arguments and parameters. We are doing function call, function header, appropriate function call is there or not, right? So we are checking whether there is appropriate function call, right? So these things are being considered in semantic analysis phase. In semantic analysis, we are also generating the parse tree only. Make it clear that we are only generating the parse tree only, but we are seeing all these things, that whether in our program, whether the source program which we are providing, so those source program are firstly analyzed by the lexical analysis phase. In that lexical analysis phase, we are generating the tokens, and then in syntax analysis phase, we are checking whether any syntax is missing, or any semicolon is missing, or whatever it is. So any space is missing. So those are being checked in the syntax analysis, and in semantic analysis, we are performing these four things, like type information, type checking, type conversion, and appropriate function call. So these are being done during the semantic analysis. After semantic analysis, let's check what is the another phase. That is, now see, analysis part is done. Here, analysis part is done. Now the next part comes is the intermediate code generation, code optimization, and code generation. So intermediate code generation, code optimization, and code generation are the synthesis part, which we have discussed in the previous lecture. So let's come to the intermediate code generation. So in intermediate code generation, what we are doing is, yes, so it is the fourth phase of the compiler. So the syntax tree, which is the output of the semantic analysis, right? See, I told you that in syntax analysis, syntax analysis, we are generating a parse tree, right? Output is in the form of parse tree, as well as in the semantic analysis also. The output which is being generated is in the form of parse tree, right? So, in this phase, the syntax tree, see, this is the syntax tree, we can also say this syntax tree, right? So, this is the syntax tree, which is the output of the semantic analysis, is the input of this phase, right? For intermediate code generation, the input which we are receiving is in the form of syntax tree, right? So, the input, this is the input for it, right? So, input which we are receiving is in the form of syntax tree, and this syntax tree, right? So, it generates the intermediate code which is suitable for generating the code. Some of the activities that are being performed in this phase are, firstly, high level language statements such as while, if, switch, whatsoever, there are many. So, these statements are translated into low level conditioning statements. So, these high level language, so first point which we have to remember is that in intermediate code generation, the input which we are receiving from the semantic analysis phase is in the form of syntax tree, right? So, when we are receiving the input in the form of syntax tree, so the job of the intermediate code generation is to firstly convert the high level statements like while, if, switch and all to the low level conditional statements, and then it is producing the stream of simple instructions and feeding them to the next phase of the compiler, which is code optimization. We will learn further. So, let us take an example. B is equals to A into B plus C. So, what is the intermediate code generation phase is doing? It is like A into B. So, it is assigning a temporary variable to this, and then this will become T1, right? This A into B is becoming T1. So, in place of A into B, we are placing T1, and this register T1 is being added to this. So, this becomes a simpler way of representing the instructions, right? So, B is the T2 register. So, this is the simpler way. So, in intermediate code generation, we are generating simple instructions, right? So, you can see here, you can find here that these are the simple instructions. These are the simple instructions. So, after these two, there are two more phases being left. So, we will be discussing those two phases and the detailed version of all the phases in the next video.